Hi, this is David McCann for WebTNG. In this video, I want to look at the Thrive Theme Builder. Thrive Themes has recently released its theme builder. It has been a long time in the making, and I was curious to see how it stacked up against the other solutions that I've looked at in this series. Since it's brand new, I expected to find some rough edges, and I did, but overall, I was surprised by its polish and sophistication. In the old days, if you wanted a theme template for a custom post type, you used to have to create it using PHP because WordPress does not output the custom fields automatically. Now there are a number of options where you can use your page builder of choice to do the job using drag and drop. This post is part 8 of a series looking at custom post types and the theme building functionality of page builders. I created a test site using the free page builder framework theme, and I created some test posts, and I also created a custom post type called books, and I entered some book records. You can see that the default archive here needs some work, and if we look at an individual book record, we don't see any custom fields showing. If we go and look at the books, we see that in addition to the title and the content and the featured image, there is also a custom taxonomy, genres, and there are some custom fields, a link to the author's website, the author's photo, and a reviewer rating. I use CPTUI and advanced custom fields to create the book's custom post type. To install a Thrive Themes product, you have to have the product manager installed. Here it shows you all of the Thrive products that you've purchased. You can see that I've already activated Thrive Architect on this site previously for other testing. And then here is the Thrive Theme Builder and the themes, the Shapeshift theme. You click here and then you click here to install the ones that you've checked. It takes a few minutes to install the Thrive Themes Builder and the Shapeshift theme. Once it's installed, you can access it from the Thrive dashboard menu here. When you first install the theme builder, there is a wizard that walks you through the setup. And there are also some sections here for other site-wide settings. Before going through the wizard, let's take a look at the front end. This is what it looks like by default when it's first installed. I'm going to go to the book archive and we'll look at that. So here's the default archive. We can see that the featured image, the book cover, is cut off. And then it's using the featured image as a page header, and that also doesn't work in this case. So now let's go back and go through this wizard. So first step is you choose your logo, and I like that it gives you a suggested size. I've already uploaded one here. You can choose your brand colors. I'm going to stay with the blue and black brand colors. Then you have some header options, and you can see it has quite a few different header options that you can choose from. I'll just stick with this default. Then there are a number of footer options available also. And again, I'll stay with the default. But one thing I want to mention is even though we have these pre-designed options, later on you do have the ability to go in and change these or create new ones however you want. So this is a convenience giving you the option to choose some pre-designed templates. You're not locked into these. For homepage, they have some pre-designed homepages. You can use one of your existing pages, or you can display your blog as the homepage. So I'm going to choose this for now since I already have a blog. Then for a single blog post, it gives us this option, which we know doesn't really work well. For a single blog post, it gives us this option as a default, and then there are several other options also. Again, I'm just going to go with the default. Then you can set a style for your blog post, so we've already done that. But you can see they have options for grid and masonry and list, with and without sidebar. I'm just going to keep with the default for now. And then they have some page options. These are the starting points for things like your About Us or contact page. Again, they have several options, not as many in this case. And I'll just stick with the default, but it's something you can go back and change later or design from scratch if you want. Now, I've already created a WordPress menu, and you can choose one here. If you don't have one created, you can do it later. And then they have the option to go and learn what to do next, some video tutorials, or to preview your site. Now, you can restart the wizard anytime you want, or you can use these links here just to jump to any point in the wizard if you wanted to make a change. Then there are these site-wide options here. There's a branding link where you can set the theme colors, the logo, and favicon, which is what shows up on the tab of your browser. There are typography options, and you can create a set of typography options for headings and for text and hyperlinks and for pre-formatted text and so on. There are the templates area. These are the layouts that we selected during the wizard while going through the wizard. And we'll be coming back here when we create our templates for our books custom post type. And then there is a section for site speed. And what Thrive Themes has done is they've added some convenience feature here. So there's minification and caching, image optimization and delivery, and accelerated mobile pages. They've given you the option of WordPress fastest cache or W3 total cache. And what happens is if you want to use one of their selections, they've already set up the optimal configuration for that. So you can apply that with one click and you don't have to go through and configure these plugins yourself. So for people who are unfamiliar with WordPress or who are not sure which settings to pick, having these options might be a nice choice. But you can use something else if you want to. Likewise, for image optimization, they have Optimally as an option, or you can use Smush, which is free. And then accelerated mobile pages, these are pages which get cached. These are the mobile versions of pages that get cached on Google servers. And they've got that built into the theme builder. And you can enable that and use that if you like as well. And I think you're supposed to rank higher for mobile if you're using accelerated mobile pages. So let's go back to the templates area now and create the templates for our custom post type. One thing I noticed in this template area before we go on is they've got these nice previews and these cards here, but you can't really see all of the templates. If you create more templates, you might need to use this navigation here to find them. But anyway, you click the Add New button, and we're going to start by creating the template for the book archive. So you give it a name, you say that it's a list, and it's for post types, and it's for the book post type. And you have the option, you can choose one of their predefined layouts to start, or you can start from scratch. So I click Finish. So it created this card here, this layout. And if you click on the side menu here, you can see you have some options to preview, rename, delete, duplicate, or reset. And if you hover over, there's the option to edit. So let's go edit. And now we're into the template builder part of the Thrive theme builder. And I thought it was a little interesting that this is what Start from Scratch looks like, because I kind of expected it to be blank, but that's okay. Just a quick tour of this builder here. On the left here you have some overall options, some layout and position, background style, borders and corners, and shadow. And these options change depending on what you're doing here in the middle in the builder. And then you have an undo or redo. You have a button to save your work. And then you have the option here to save and preview, to save and return to the template dashboard, or to exit without saving. By choosing one of these options is how you get out of the template builder. Across the bottom here you have your device sizes and a preview button. Up at the top here you have some breadcrumbs, which are nice. And you can choose your content. If, say, we were designing the single template and we wanted to look at a particular post or book record or something, you'd be able to choose that. And then over on the side here are some options from the Thrive Architect. Here you have the elements that come with Thrive Architect that you can use in building your template. And remember, I have the full version of Thrive Architect already installed. The Thrive Theme Builder comes with a light version, so if you don't have Thrive Architect, you might have fewer elements here to use. And then there are some styling options here as well for styling the elements. In the middle, you have a view of your page. So we want to change this. And to get started with that, we double click on it and it says Edit Design. So I'm going to click the Edit Design, and that unlocks this here in the middle, and we can make changes. When we're done, we click this Done button, and then we would click Save. What I want to do is add some columns here. I'm going to try to put them into this template and put them just above the book cover, and then copy this cover, move this cover into the column. When you hover over an element, there's a little pop-up that tells you the element name, which is nice. And then here are the grab bars to move it. You can duplicate it, or here's a trash can, you can delete it. And remember, up at the top then you have your breadcrumbs, which are nice. So let's see if we can move this up here now. Drop it in there. So that was easy. Now let's move the title up to there. And let's move the content up. And when you click on an element, you get some options over here on the side. So you can see there are a lot of options. We want just the excerpt for the archive. Now let's move the Read More button up. Okay, so there's kind of the basic layout. Now for some reason it's saying no categories here, and we know that we have genres. And on the sidebar over here it also says uncategorized. I'm going to try to click on this and see if we can change it. I'm having some trouble getting into change this item here. So what I'm going to do is delete it, and then we'll try to add a category option back in here. If we look in the elements and let's type categories, there is a post category element. Again, it says no categories, but it opens, when we click on it, it opens up some options up here where we have some basic styling options, some alignment options, a link option, and then this database icon is for dynamic data. So if we click on the down arrow, we can see that it gives us different options to choose from. We can get dynamic data from the posts, the taxonomies, the content, custom fields, global fields, user data, request data, source, time and date, and archive. So we'd think it would be taxonomies. But when we look, we just have categories and tags. We don't have genres. The custom taxonomy doesn't show up. And I did check these other items here, post, content, the other options, and there's no way to get the genres to show. So instead, I'm just going to delete this because we're not able to get the correct value. So this is what our archive is looking like by default, and that's fine. And now this is pulling from posts and not from our custom post type. So I'm just going to get rid of these things since they aren't going to be helpful. Okay, so I'm going to save now, and let's go. So it said save, and now it says leave site. So I'll cancel, and it says book archive saved successfully. So that's kind of a little oddity, a rough edge, I guess. So I'm going to just save it and return to template dashboard. Okay, let's go look at what that looks like. And that looks like what we designed. It looks fine. So that's a good first step. Now, one thing I've been doing to test the flexibility of the template builders is to see if I can add custom fields to the archive. So let's go try that. It's too bad we can't use the category, the custom taxonomy. But let's go back now and see if we can add a custom field to this. See, we have these big cards here. We don't even see the book archive that we created. So I think they could have perhaps some better layout here where you could see more. But if we go to just show archives, then we see our default book archive. And it's nice it's taken a screenshot and shown us that in the card. What I'm going to do is edit the design, and let's add some columns again. And we'll go with 2 columns, and I'll move the read more button here. And then let's see if we can add a button to take us to the author's website. So let's find the button element, and we'll add that. There's this option here for button styles if we wanted to use one of these. And I don't see an option to edit the content on the left here. So I'm just going to click in and type. And then if we look over here, I think we can make this a little smaller. So it's about the same size as this text on this button. Then if we click on out of the text area, we see we have some color options. So there's some predefined theme options here, or we could choose some. I'm just going to choose this. Alright, and let's apply that. So let's change the color of the button. Text, let's try that. We'll click apply. And now let's see if we can, looks like the typography got adjusted. Let's make that smaller. So now we have this, which is outside margins and padding, I guess. So let's see if we can get these lined up together. I wonder if we need to click on the column. There's no padding or margin there, so it's on the button. What happens if we set this to 0? And it looks like we have a little more padding there. What's that one got in way of padding? So it's got 10 pixels on the inner area there. So let's go here and change that to 10. Okay, the button looks a little different, but we've got it lined up here. Oh, we need to, I can't go back in here. Okay, so we have to edit the design. So that was a little rough spot there. But let's go here now and let's get our button link. We can enter a static link, a jump link to something else on the page, or here's our dynamic link. And we want a custom field, and we want our custom field, the link, be to the author's website. We'll open it in a new tab, and then we have to click this Insert button to apply the choice. So let's click Done over here and save work. And now go back and we'll take a look at it. We'll go to the books, and this is the archive. Here's the button to link to the author's website, and that works. So good, we've got our archive done. This is something that we could go and add a description to our archive if we want, and that would show up here, I guess. But this was pretty good. We were able to add a custom field. The only limitation we saw was we can't access the genre, the custom taxonomy. So now let's go and create the template for the single book. Replace this. So we go back to the theme builder and we create new, call it book single. We want it for books, and we want to start from scratch, although we have other options here if we wanted. And now it's showing us the book templates, so let's edit this. And this is what that looks like by default. So I'm going to go through the same process again. This time we don't have to click this Edit Layout button to get started over here. So let's add our columns. And let's move our featured image and then our title. And this is the meta here. They put it together in some columns. So let's drag this column up. And then the post content. So there's that. This looks a little odd. Let's see if we can fix this and make this better. When you click on one, remember you get some options over here. So we don't need to show the time. And then let's make this a little bigger. And this is 18 pixels. So I think we can make that a little smaller also. Do the same here. And then the same here. Okay. Now let's add our custom fields. We have a star rating option. So let's put that in here. And let's center that. And let's make this dynamic. We'll choose our custom field, reviewer rating. So it's picked up the rating now. So that's good. Now let's add the author photo. Let's find an image element. Put that in underneath. And you see when you drop an image element in, it automatically takes you to the media library. But we want this to be dynamic, so let's use dynamic source. We go back to the editor then, and we'll use a custom field, and we want the author's photo. So that's good. And let's make it a little bit smaller. And let's center that. So there's the author's photo. Now let's add the link to the author's website, and we'll do that same way we did before in the archive. Okay, and we'll make that text a little smaller. And then let's get the button link for our custom field. And we've got that, so we click the button to insert it and save. And let's go to the front end to look. Here's the archive, and here's our single. Looks like we have some extra space here we can get rid of, but otherwise it looks fine. See if we can go fix that, and we can take this off also. So let's go back to the dashboard. And let's edit that. Let's delete this since it doesn't work. Okay, and then we've got our columns here. We've got, let's see if we can, we don't want it larger. Let's try here. Oh, we see we've got some padding above or below it. Let's try getting rid of that. So that's a little better, and we'll make that smaller. Here we have 24 pixel padding below it. I'm not sure why. Here we have 1 pixel, so let's make that 1 pixel. 1 pixel, 1 pixel. Let's try locking that in. Okay, so that's better. Okay, I guess that's what we can do. We'll save that. And let's go back and take a look. There's our book single. The Thrive Theme Builder experience was different than other theme and template builders I've worked with. The Thrive Theme Builder comes with a light version of Thrive Architect, which is their page builder. Now, Beaver Builder and Beaver Themer come as 2 separate plugins, and in this case there are 2 products also, Thrive Architect and the Theme Builder. But the Thrive Theme Builder installs as a theme and not as a plugin. Also, the customary practice in WordPress is to place theme-related settings under the Appearance menu, but the Theme Builder menu is found under the Thrive dashboard. Many of the settings from the Setup Wizard are normally found in the Theme Customizer, but Thrive Themes has them in their Theme Builder area. Being different isn't necessarily bad, but it does mean that you can't rely on previous experience to figure it out. Overall, the template builder worked fine. As you could see, there were a few times where it felt a bit clunky, and the controls were different than what I was used to with other builder interfaces, but they worked. Now, Thrive Architect doesn't have a lot of third-party add-ons like Beaver Builder or Elementor, but there seem to be plenty to get the job done. The Thrive Theme Builder is new and had some rough edges. I purchased the Thrive Theme Builder in early May and actually began this walkthrough video almost a month ago. But there was a bug, and the book archive template wouldn't be applied. Instead, the default archive template was shown for books. The development team fixed this in an update. There was also the issue of the genre custom taxonomy not showing. I reported this in the support forum and was told that the theme builder doesn't currently support custom taxonomies. I was surprised about this, as that's a pretty standard feature of WordPress, and the lack of support for custom taxonomies limits the use of the theme builder, as sometimes people need that feature. With a name like Shapeshifter Theme, I'd say that the theme builder is meant to be a general purpose theme. It has a lot of small touches geared toward brand promotion and conversion, which I didn't discuss. But as you saw, it has a bold, standout look. I found that attractive, and the company explicitly says that they target their theme towards influencers, and I can see the appeal for that demographic. It's easy for me to accept that would work well for solopreneurs. I'm not sure, however, if it's flexible enough to shapeshift for a broad range of sites. Do you think it's flexible and versatile enough for a Twitch streaming star, for music brands, or church websites? The text version of this video is available on the WebTNG website, along with other posts in the series and other resources. I hope you found this video useful. Thank you for watching.